So hi everyone, now let's start that why you should learn Python in 2022. In this video, we are going to talk about the popularity of Python. We are going to see the job market Python versus Java, and we're going to see the pros and cons of Python test. And then we will see the fields and important libraries where Python is really good at it. So let's start with this. So there are two platforms where you can check the popularity of any programming language. One is the TOB index, and the one is the Stack Overflow survey. So I have already opened the TOB index website, and website is tob.com/tob-index. If you look at this TOB index, or you can read about over here. So if you read on this, so there are 25 search engines that are used to calculate TOB index. So this is a really pretty intensive survey. So you can read about this, how do they calculate and what are the search engines they do take in their criteria on that. So now let's get back on this TOB index. So over here, if you will look at in March 2022, as per TOB index, Python is the most famous programming language. Its rank is number 1 with a 14.26% of rating. That's really amazing. And look at just in the last year, it was on 3rd rank. So you can see that Python is improving its rank in terms of popularity. Now let's do one thing, let's go down. Over here you will see the popularity charts of all these programming languages year on year. So it starts with a 2002 to 2022. If you look at the way Python has grown, so look at the way. It's really amazing, the growth of Python. And specifically just go and check the growth of Python since 2018. So in 2018 it was about 3.7%, and in 2020, let me go and select the Python chart. Yeah, this is the blue one. So over here in 2022, its popularity has gained about, so let me, over here 14.26%. So about 300% growth, or you could say the 4 times in just last 4 years, from 2018 to 2022. The way Python has grown, no other programming has done that. Its popularity has exploded in the last 4 years. And look at the other programming language, Java, it has gone down. C, almost similar since 2022, a bit downfall. Again, PHP, a big downfall. C Sharp, it's going up, but not like the way Python is going up. So you can check JavaScript, almost the same. So now you know how much popular Python is and how much popularity Python is gaining in last 4 years. Now let's go to our other important survey, that's the Stack Overflow survey. It is the 2021 survey. And if you look at in the most wanted language, Python rank is number 1. So on this Stack Overflow survey, so if you select on this want, so it says that the number of developers which were developing some other programming languages, but now they want to switch into Python. So that's what this want is all about, and Python is number 1 over here, which really explains that how much wanted language Python is. Guys, now let's get started with the job market, Python versus Java. So I have selected these two websites to check the job market between Python versus Java. So first one is the linkedin.com. So here I have already selected the Java and country as a United States. As wherever you want to search the job market, you can select your place in linkedin.com. So this was the search results. where Java was mentioned in job role or as a skill. Sorry, not over here on the linkedin.com. So now let me go back. So now, over here also I have selected for 14 days with Java, and Java requirement was this much on indeed.com in last 14 days. So now let me get back and now let's check the Python market. So for Python market, so here I made a mistake. I did not select the past 1 month job for Java. So these were the number of jobs. So let me do one thing. Let me get back, and on Java, let me remove this and select this one. Yeah, no, that makes it correct. Yeah. So now I have selected last month, and let me go over here and select how much the jobs were on for Python for last 1 month is selected in the query. Yeah. So this much. So for this was for Python, and then again on indeed.com. So let me go and search for Python, and USA is already selected, and let me find the jobs. So if you look at over here, until then that result is coming on linkedin.com in United States, because that's for the location I chose. The number of jobs in Python was more in demand, as that's what our search result revealed, because what that search result does, so wherever the in job role or skill that job was mentioned, that will put up in that search result. And then now this result has also come now Python, but I need to make a filter also for 14 days filter on indeed.com. Yeah, now the result has come for Python also, and let me go back, and these were the result. So again, the same kind of results and trend here also on indeed.com in United States. Python was more in demand, so it might be differ from other locations. So there might be other locations where Java might be more in demand, or might be some other languages, but in United States of America, Python is in more demand, which reveals by the trend of indeed.com and linkedin.com. So I hope that really gives you a good idea about the job market between Python versus Java. So guys, now let's talk about the pros of learning Python. So one of the good things about Python that it is highly readable because of its pretty good indentation, and it is easy to learn as its syntax is much more readable and you can easily understand comparably with much with other languages like C, C++ and Java. And Python requires a number of less lines of code for the same output. If you compare with Java, then the same output you require in Python about 5 to 10 times less lines of code comparing with Java, and with C++ it's about more than 10 times less lines of code you need to write in Python for the same output. And if you look at for community support, Python is having a really huge community, and you'll find great tutorial in Python as well as great documentation. If you go to this website python.org, even over there you'll find a huge documentation. And Python is having like great community which is working on that, which is creating a lot of frameworks, libraries in Python. And because of that, if you are doing a project, then in most probably you will find a pretty good library or framework which will really help you out to complete your project. And apart from that, Python is getting a regular updates on that, which is a great thing for any programming language, that it is getting updated on that. So because of these things, like it's really great choice if you are beginning with the programming, because of its easiness and because of its community support. And then let's see now some of the cons of learning Python, that where you should not learn Python. One of the reasons is that Python is a slow language comparably with Java, C, C++. And Python is not really good at if you are going ahead in these fields like game development and GUI, because these fields require a high speed language. So Java or languages like C Sharp is suitable in those fields. And Python is a dynamic type of a language. So and because of that, like if you are making a huge program and you might trap in some bug, So these are the two reasons where I feel like you should not choose these fields in Python. And speed, and yes, so there's a work is going on to Python, making a comparatively giving making the fast language. So I saw in a podcast that Python's founder Guido van Rossum has just joined Microsoft and they are working on it. But again, that slow does it not mean that it will be slow everywhere. So Python has done a lot of work on it, but that's a different chapter like altogether. Like where if you look at how Python has made into like really good into fields like data analytics and then backend development. So and if you look at Python is really good with in data analytics and math, and doesn't mean Python is slow so it will impact everywhere. So there are ways that people makes Python faster. So how those are the ways, so that's a like different chapter, I'm not going to talk about in this video. So if you are going ahead with the data or mathematics, then Python is a really amazing choice, as Python is having a really good support in data analytics libraries like these libraries. In data engineering, Python is having PySpark. In machine learning, TensorFlow and PyTorch. PyTorch is built by Facebook or Meta nowadays, and TensorFlow is built by Google. In data science, Python is having a NumPy library, and then which really pretty good for mathematical computation. And then for data visualization, again Python is having a really great support of libraries like Plotly, Matplotlib, and Bouquet. And then for backend development, Python is having a great framework like Django and Flask. The website like Instagram was built on Django, and the biggest tutorial website like Udemy is on Django, and there are many big websites which are right now running their backend on Flask also. And again, Python is making a good place in the cybersecurity too. So I hope these things give you a pretty good idea about Python as a language, that why you should learn Python and why you should not learn Python. So you can compare like your field and then your choice. It's up to you. So thanks guys, and please support by subscribing my channel. I'll try to post more and more videos every week. Thanks a lot. Bye bye guys.